Hello, this is Left Turn Productions, and welcome to the LTP stop motion series, Clash. This will be the first official race of the LTP stop motion series, not the first points paying race. This is just where the 12 best that have ever been on the channel will fight it out for an exhibition race win here. Pretty much just bragging rights out here today. Again, 12 cars in this race, the smallest starting grid of any race that I've ever done. So we're going to have your starting lineup right here. Hope Wilmington drew the pole card in the card poll that determined the starting order. And alongside Hope Wilmington is James Edwards. In row 2, you have James Johnson and Brady Wilmington. Row 3 is Jake Hoover and Caleb Campbell. Row 4 is Scarlett Rose and Shane Wensloff. Row 5 is Brian Ferris and Sam Lester. And in row 6, rounding out the field, is Brendan Creason and Grant Hoover. So 6 laps around Fresno. Remember, this was the track that hosted the first ever race, the first ever York Cup Series race where Kevin Harvick beat Matt Kenseth in a photo finish. Pace cars off into the pits. Wilmington's going to lead them. And it's going to be the green flag on the season here for the Left Turn Productions stop motion series. Already through turn 2 here. They're still side by side for the lead as James Edwards is not letting off. They've got a bit of a tandem going on there. Those are teammates down there on the inside lane for Stewart-Haas Racing. And on the outside line, best friends. But Hope Wilmington will get the lead. She will lead the first lap here as she pulls ahead now with her teammate. The Haas cars are 1-2 now as they're 3 wide further back, and Wensloff almost turns the 17. That was close, but he saved it. Great save by Jake Hoover, but that breaks up the pack. The top 3 have pulled away. It's Hope Wilmington and the 2 Jameses, and the Jameses will side draft off each other, giving Wilmington more of an advantage in lap number 3. Looking further back, here comes the Caleb Campbell Motorsports machines. Caleb Campbell himself being pushed by Grant Hoover. They might have a say here as James Edwards goes for the lead on Hope Wilmington, and we've got a crash. A spin. Caleb Campbell's around, the 2-time champion, and he's going to get it stopped in the infield. No damage to that 46. But let's look at the replay here. So here is your replay. There you can see right in the middle, the 46 of Caleb Campbell, the 25 of Grant Hoover. Pushing each other. They said before the race that they'd start to work together, and I think Grant Hoover just hooked him. Grant Hoover has a bit of a rounded nose there, more pointed, I guess. Yeah, he was a little aggressive with the bump drafting and turned around his team owner. That's going to be an interesting team meeting after the race. I'm sure Caleb wasn't very happy about that, but looked like it was an honest mistake there by Grant Hoover, just being a little too aggressive on the bumper. Fortunately, Caleb was able to steer his car away from being pointed forward, because if that splitter dug into the grass, he would probably be done. But fortunately, he will continue in this race, and we still have all 12 cars running with 2 laps to go. Let's get to the restart. Alright, same front row as the start here. Hope Wilmington, James Edwards gonna fight it out here. 2 laps to go in this race. Who's gonna win it? And the 41 gives the 14 a huge shove. We're already seeing a little bit of 3-wide action going on here. Oh, we got trouble. Big hit for the 95. The 78 is in it. The 12, the 3, the 46. Everybody gets damage. And it's the big one coming off of turn 2, and there were a few hard hits in there. James Edwards was up in the air. And look at the cars coming back. There's the 2 Stewart-Haas cars. Grant Hoover, Brady Wilmington. Brendan Creason got by without a scratch. And there's the 40 of Shane Wensloff and the 17 of Jake Hoover, both with pretty significant damage to their machines. Let's see what happened here. We are going to go into overtime after this. So here's the restart. James Johnson gives Hope Wilmington a huge shove out front. There's Edwards right there, and that is Grant Hoover right behind. Remember, he caused the first caution by spinning out Caleb Campbell, and it looks like he might have caused that as well. He gave James Edwards a bad bump draft. and Edwards collides into the wall, and Brady Wilmington comes down and collects a bunch more. including Shane Wensloff, Jake Hoover. He sends his own teammate up into the outside wall, trying to dodge the crash. Probably didn't see him down there, just hooked him. That's Sam Lester in the 78. Scarlett Rose spinning down the track in the 3. See, the 95 was up on top of the 12. Caleb Campbell had nowhere to go. Brendan Creason did a good job getting slowed down and missing the crash. Let's go look at it one more time. The first 2 cars in the outside line collided. And yeah, 25 just was a little too aggressive on the bump drafting again. He's got to be more careful with that. And you can see right there up in the outside line, the 12 of Brian Ferris, the 3 of Scarlett Rose, the 46 of Caleb Campbell, all had nowhere to go. 78, Sam Lester gets hooked up, hits the 12 car really hard. James Edwards up in the air on top of Brian Ferris. And that's such a shame. He was in the top 3 the entire time of this race, but not anymore. So anyway, we'll have a restart with 2 laps to go now. We're in overtime. Let's see who's going to get the win. Before we get to the restart, here are the cars that are out of the race. Jake Hoover could not repair the damage. He pulled behind the wall. James Edwards, Sam Lester, Brian Ferris, Scarlett Rose, Caleb Campbell could not keep going. The damage was too severe. And so, yeah, a tough break for all of those drivers. Shane Wensloff came into the pits with damage. They were able to fix it, but it looks like he might still be off the pace here on this restart. The Stewart-Haas Racing teammates, Hope Wilmington and James Johnson, are going to lead them down. Wilmington is the leader, but she's starting on the outside lane, so who's going to get the better push? Green flag is in the air. The 40 is slow. He will not be able to keep up. It's a 5-car dash to the finish. Brendan Creason tries to make a move on Hope Wilmington, and that will allow James Johnson to get the lead temporarily. Will he be able to hold on to it? They're 3 wide. Grant Hoover trying to get down to the bottom. Hope Wilmington holding her own on the bottom, or on the top rather. And it's going to be James Johnson who leads the final lap. But here comes Brady Wilmington with a huge push to Grant Hoover. Brendan Creason following. The Stewart-Haas cars faltering. Here comes Wilmington. Will he try to make a move for the win? He's going to the outside. They almost crash behind him. Here comes Wilmington to the outside. Is he going to get it done? Yes, he will. Brady Wilmington beats Grant Hoover in a photo finish here in the clash. Brady Wilmington gets his 29th stop-motion win here, and the first on this channel in almost 2 years. Let's see what happened here on this overtime attempt. So here's the restart once again. You see the 40 was slow. He pulled in behind the wall after completing a lap. They did not get the damage fixed on that car, but these 5 raced it out to the end. James Johnson, if he would have gotten down to the inside, he would have been able to block Grant Hoover. Now, that allows Grant Hoover to get the opportunity to get to the inside of him. And then, Grant Hoover and James Johnson are side by side. Johnson beats him right there, coming to the final lap. But Grant Hoover gets a monster push from the 62 of Brady Wilmington. Brendan Creason tried to make a move. First went to the bottom, then to the top. Didn't quite work out for him. And here comes Wilmington up to the outside of Grant Hoover. He got a great run going through turns 3 and 4. And coming to the line, it was that close. About a third of a car length for Brady Wilmington to get the win. So here are your race results. Brady Wilmington gets the win. Grant Hoover comes up just short in second. Hope Wilmington in third. Brendan Creason fourth. James Johnson fifth. And they're the ones that finished the race. Shane Wensloff, the first DNF of the race, almost made it to the end, but was a lap behind. Jake Hoover, James Edwards, Sam Lester, Brian Ferris, Scarlett Rose, Caleb Campbell round out the field. So congratulations to Brady Wilmington for his win here in the Clash. Of course, this is not a points-paying race. The first points-paying race will be next week, which will still be at Fresno, but they will be running the Cup cars. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. This is Left Turn Productions, signing out.